Hi, everyone. How are you? So today I'm following up with the 108 TBC acrylic markers. And I did swatch them all 108, and they're all good. There were no duds. They all worked beautifully, vibrantly. And so here are the colors. And like I said yesterday, the numbers are on the caps. There are names with the numbers on the sheets that they give you. Well, what I've soon discovered as I was putting the names in is that the names don't all match the color really. Um, so, like for example, this one was called Off-White, but if you look at it, it's really a light peach color. And this one was called Light Brown, but it's really like a peach color, etc. And they call this one Light Peach, but it's a pink, a reddish pink color. So I realized that these names really don't match the colors. So I just stopped using the names and just put the numbers in. I was like, let's just use the numbers. I know that at this point, I've been coloring a few years. I know the colors enough. I don't really need the whatever names that they gave. So I skipped on that after a while. I was like, it was bothering me more that the names didn't match the colors at all, in my opinion. There's that, but I mean, I don't care. A rose by any other name smells as sweet, right? So the names don't really matter to me, but the colors do, and the colors are gorgeous. Plenty of colors to work with here, and I'm going to use them today. Now, another thing I learned is that the acrylic markers, unlike alcohol-based markers, they don't bleed through the page. You don't have to worry about, no matter how thin the paper is, basically it doesn't bleed to the other side. So this is cardstock, it's pretty thick paper, but the paper in here is kind of thin. So, but even so, I think they're gonna work just fine because acrylic does not. You don't have to worry about it bleeding through. So I really like that. That's probably why you see so many people using acrylic more than maybe alcohol in these coloring books. So check out my Maria Troll. And another thing I noticed is that people usually use the acrylic markers after they've finished the page, and then they do pop-ups, little dots in the background, little highlights like you see on the cover here. I was showing how they basically use the acrylics, like the last finishing step. So I'm going to go into my coloring book here, pages I've done, and I found a few pages that I'm going to top up with the acrylic and see how it turns out. So I'm going to start with this page. Now, again, this paper is very thin. I think it will work just fine. And I'm going to use some acrylic magic on these pages. See how they turn out. Okay, so the markers I'm going to use, the lightest one, from lightest to darkest, is 204, 200, 214, 114, and then 104. 104. And I think I'll start with the darkest to the lightest because that's usually how it's done. I'm going to go over this big meteor here. And we're going to see if we can jazz this up a little. So I'm sort of following the same colors I use. People do go over these with color pencil afterwards, so you can do that. I might do that. I don't know. I'll see. So that turns out. I'm not going to try to do a gradient with water or anything today. I'm just going to sort of cover the lines today to see how the picture looks. Some of these dark lines blotted out. That's what I'm really curious about. Just taking the coloring page to the next level. I think using long strokes is the best way to go. I tend to use little strokes, and I have to break myself of that habit because I think it look with these lines, it's kind of better to just um, do long strokes if you can. We have a smooth layer there on top. Like I said, every single marker worked beautifully. I had no duds, which is a pleasant surprise. You know, when you get these large sets, sometimes you're concerned that maybe you'll have problems with some. And now they all work really well. They're smooth, comes right out. Yeah. Haven't even needed to shake them really. I've just sort of been using them. So here I'm trying to do a little bit of a gradient with this color. Yeah, so I think it is looking more flowing, looking a little bit more lit up like a meteor. And I notice people like using these acrylic paint pens to put dots in the background. It's great for that as well for a final touch. I'll be doing that as well. Yeah, I think the acrylic paints really do complement the color pencil, whatever you're using. But I think color pencil, they work well because you can go over them with color pencil. So they seem to look look good together on a coloring page. And they are fun to use once you get used to them. Still working on that, still getting used to them. Lighten up the roof of the house here. Still have to work on the blending part of it though. There, so yeah, I think it looks a lot fuzzier, looks fluffier, right? I think it just looks a little bit cuter. These are very cute pages. They're really nice. And they look softer with the acrylic paint pens. Though I do think you need to go over a couple of times to get rid of some of these dark lines, especially with the lightest colors, because the darker colors will cover the dark lines, black lines very well. The lighter colors, I think you need to do it a couple of times. But I think that's the same with all acrylic, pens, basically. I mean, it could just be me. Maybe I'm not shaking it enough. That could be part of it. You need to shake them well. Try to shake those really well. They do flow beautifully here. And this needs to be blended a little bit more here. There we go. It's very easy to go over anything and touch it up afterwards. So all mistakes are fixable. Just need to catch it. A very forgiving medium for sure. And I forgot to mention, but a pleasant surprise is there's a gold, a shiny, and I can see that how it's shiny. Gold and silver shiny colors here. So you do get a shiny metallic color with these. Just two of them, but that's enough. I don't really use them that often, the silver and gold, but I may use them with this page. Actually, I will use them. So they're 300 and 301. And I also took out the white, the 4043. So let's use the gold and silver. Let's put some dots on there and the backgrounds. This black background, you can see it. Let me zoom in so you can see it. Shows up beautifully. So I'm using the gold right now. And if you don't like it, you can just go over it with the white. Again, it's very easy to fix anything. I'm just going to put some random different size dots around, some big, some little, using the brush tip. Now I'm going to switch to the silver, put in some silver dots. Maybe even I accidentally put some like a little bit of slash, but that's okay. That could be another more comments in the background. And the stars, I think I'll use the white on the stars. Maybe I should use the yellow. Decisions. go. So just adding some more dots back there, and then I got the white out. So for the white, I'll go over some of these stars. Some of these little planets in the backgrounds. Get rid of those black lines. I think I'll need to go over a couple of times with the white. Oh, he's got white in his eye already. Yeah, so I'm just adding some more dots there, just making it look a little more space. Like outer space. I missed some black lines over here, so let's go over this. This is a lot of fun going over my old pages and just sprucing them up. This is great. To just bring it to the next level, I guess. All right, so I'm done with the sky for now. And now I want to focus on the bottom half because it's very light down here. I want some more contrasts. So I'm going to make it darker. Now I'm going to use the water pen. I'm going to try blurring it out to more of a gradient. I've got a dark blue and a medium blue. So I'm using 031 and 708. And I'm going to try moving this around and making it just a little bit darker down here. And again, these dry very quickly, so I've got to go in real quick with the water pen. I got to get it ready to go here to move quickly, move in on this. So here we go. I'm going to put the very dark blue on here and quickly go with the water pen. Yeah, okay, so we get in there very quickly. We can spread it out. Can't waste a moment though. Because once it's dry, which is great under normal circumstances. Yeah, I might even just use this one color. I might not even have to use the second one. Because it does give you a few colors, gradients, when you just blend it out. It sort of gives you a nice dark medium light going on there. So I think this, even one color might be enough for the 031 there. I think, 'cause I'm afraid if I add the mid-tone color, it might be a struggle getting it to blend like that. So I might just leave that like that. Yeah, maybe I'll just use this one color, 031. I'm getting it to blend out. See, I'm moving quickly. When I get right in on it, you can blend it out nicely. Let's see again. Pull this over here. Oops. Look over. There we go. So you can see it. So again, I'm going to add the dark down here. Quick get in there. Yeah, so I think the water brush is a better choice than, for me anyways, than using the regular brush. I have those cheap acrylic brushes. I mean, you could use those as well, but these larger spaces, I think a water brush is probably the way to go to get it spread out. Okay, so maybe I will I'm going to cover these up right away. They do dry so quickly. And I can use maybe the mid-tone on this section here. This is the mid-tone kind of color I chose. So yeah, that looks a little bit, I think add a little with a darker color on top of that. It's not dark enough to me. Oops. And now I'm going to have to go over that with a yellow. That's okay. Yeah, so it makes a very nice gradient there. Actually, maybe I will use the mid-tone over here. I think it looks a little not smooth enough, so I'm going to put the mid-tone there. Quickly go in, squeeze some water out. Using a lot of water here. I mean, not too much, but it's more than just damp. And this spread it out. The acrylic is water-based, so it's kind of like watercolor in that way. It is smooths out nicely with a little water. I think that's okay. I think that'll work. I think for the last thing I'll do is just this little yellow strip of road. I want sort of darker yellow, greenish yellow into a brighter yellow in the middle. So I'm going to use 064, 227, and 224. So I'm going to start with a darker color, the 064, to the outside. I accidentally went over that with the blue paint. And quickly moving it to the 227. Yeah, slightly lighter. And last, the lightest color here, the 224. I guess remember to use longer lines here. Now, load these windows in. It's bright yellow too. Let's touch up some of these lines up here as well. Now, just for the shading, while I have these out, I will use the darker color to shade under the house. So that will be the 064 is my darkest one here. So let's put a little shading. Well, it's kind of light in this one. Yeah, I'll just leave that. Need something darker, I think. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to do is the house. And I can pull out all these pens and use all of them. It's great. There's so many. And they come in handy with so many things. So this is 424 and 602. It's for a little shading under the house there. And I think I'll use the fine tip for this one. So I'll put a line down there. Maybe a line on the side as well. I need a little bit of lighter one. Yeah. Not exactly what I expected for the color. That's all right. It matches. All right. So I think I'm going to end it there. So there you have it. My touch ups with the acrylic. paint pen. So I'll show you the before and after, and I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.